following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a really great show for you guys today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get started, let's say hi first off to our cool, outrageous man about town host, Mr. Ron Russell and Astro.
Yeah, I am so excited about today's show. I love Cece Peniston a lot, and it's going to be such fun visiting with her.
Yes.
I think we're seeing her this weekend at the White Party.
Yeah, she's coming to Palm Springs. And actually, when
we'll
she
talk
plays...
about that when she comes on the show. Right?
Oh, hang on. She just texted me. So, no. 12:15. Okay, anyway.
So she's coming on at 12:15?
Yes. Okay. No, she's supposed to come on.
She's coming in from Arizona. That's where she lives, in Arizona.
Right.
So I think she's an hour different. We must remind her of that. There's an hour difference from Pacific time and Western time.
Yes. Anyway, she's going to be making it because she says she's here. So she's going to be here. So
anyway,
that makes me happy.
If you see me sniffing again, I do not do cocaine. It's not a cocaine sniff nose. My daughters, both, and I are suffering from the pollen in Palm Springs. We had a lot of rain this year, and it made all the desert crap grow. And the winds are blowing now 45, 50 miles an hour. So everything is just all over the place. And my sinuses are killing me. So I'm going to be constantly doing this, sniffing, because the snots are running out of my nose. And it won't be attractive for me to sit here with snots running down my lip. You know, when I was a kid in school, maybe 7th, 8th grade, there was another kid who he had snots here, and he'd do this.
I used to do that.
You used to do that? That's disgusting. Licking your snots? I mean, what the hell did I marry? I married a real weirdo freak. You used to lick your snots?
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I did. Anyway, let's say hi.
Next topic.
Our chat room is people are starting to show up. Viral Victor from Australia. I think from England, from the UK. Viral Victor is there, and Lady Lake is in there. We're going to have a lot of fun. And before we get started, I want to wish a very happy birthday today to a friend of Ron and I's. Her name is Diane McClure Repetto, and today is her birthday. We want to wish her a happy birthday. And I don't know how old she is, but she's a fabulous friend. And so we want to wish her the best day today and every day, obviously.
And I taught her about lipstick. There's 3 things a woman must always have: lipstick, 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 because lipstick attracts men. If you do not have lipstick on, your mouth is boring. Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, Jane Russell, Sophia Loren, they all wore lipstick with lip gloss to make their mouths look like a wet vagina. Because when men see pink or red lips, they think sex. And that attracts them to women. And this is a fact, a proven fact that's been said over the years. So many cosmetologists say this, not to women when they make them up, but in essence, they do. So if you want to attract a man when you go out, wear lipstick with lip gloss and smile, because that means you're a happy snatch. And you'll get a guy that way. So I keep telling Diane and the same as my dog Brandy, her best friend, wear lipstick, girls, because it works. I tell everybody that. There's a wonderful movie that Jacqueline Bisset did, and it was about a madam in Paris, and a reporter girl goes to Paris to interview this madam, and the madam is the one that said, remember, there's only 3 things a woman must do: lipstick, lipstick, lipstick. And it's true. It's the thing that attracts men the most. Years ago, they used to wear white lipstick, and all the men thought that was disgusting. Men didn't even want to kiss a girl with white lipstick. And if you wear blue lipstick or green lipstick, no way. Green looks like a moldy mouth, and blue looks like you got beat up. So a beautiful soft pink, peach, a pale pink is nice. Men like that. They like to kiss pink lips. Think about it, girls. And all you guys out there, you know it. If a girl has sexy lips, you can't wait to kiss them. Right, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
I don't have lips. Look.
Yes.
I have little lips.
Little lips.
Little thin
Mine are
lips.
hidden by the beard. Which Cindy Lady Lake says she always wears lipstick, even when she's like at home. Like not,
Yeah, well, you
going
have
out.
to. I mean, if you want to be sexy, it's a part of being a woman. You know, today tattoos and spears in their ears and lips and that crap appeals to certain men, but not all men. So each woman has to find what
Tattoos
makes
and spears.
No, really. I mean, they have those things in their tongue, which is retarded. The thing in the nose to make them look like a slave. I mean, you know, these are all things that are gimmicky shit, stupid, jerky things that kids do. Women, Grace Kelly would never do that. Audrey Hepburn, Sophia Loren, Jane Russell, they would never disfigure their faces with metal or sticking things in their nose or those things in the ear. That I can't even look at when they make that huge hole in the ear like in Africa. I mean, what are we going, primitive?
I actually put a picture on Facebook, and it was a picture of a dude with like, I don't know, probably 500 piercings in his face.
Oh, that's sick.
And it says, "This is what happens when you run into a tackle box at 50 miles an hour."
Oh, that's a joke. But no, I believe that people that disfigure themselves deliberately by tattooing their face were not happy with who they looked like. And they said, let's cover it up and let's make it into a mistake. Anyway, I'm old-fashioned. You know, I come from the days of when a woman looked like a woman and a man looked like a man. And shut up. And we knew who we were. Men knew they were men and women knew they were women. Today, we're all confused at who's who. You know, we have so many trans friends, and our trans friends are not militant like some of these trans people out there today that are crazy. I mean, now they want to put tampons in a men's room. I mean, how do you put a tampon machine in a men's room? We don't need a tampon machine. And transsexuals, they don't get periods, so they don't need tampons in the men's room. So why do they want to do this nonsense? It's all stupidity.
Anyway.
It's like the hippies. In my day, it was hippies. Peace, brother, love, all that bullshit. Then we all became materialistic. All the hippies I knew back then that used to hate me because I once wore a Gucci safari jacket with Gucci epaulets on top, and they made fun of me. Those very same people today drive Mercedes, live in very big homes, and dress to the nines. They spend money like crazy, which goes to prove it's the have-nots that hate the haves. Until the have-nots have, then they're the best friend of the haves. In Italian, there's a wonderful saying also, che sprezzo, how does it go? Anyway, who doesn't like until they buy? And that's my little bit of philosophy for the day. But no, seriously, there are so many different styles today that people are doing, and it's okay. Everybody has a right to be who they want to be. I mean, if a guy wants to walk around with lipstick and he's built like Hercules and looks like an idiot, that's his right. Doesn't mean it's going to be soothing to our eyes. When I see some of these really handsome men that are half women and half men, I mean, I get confused. And I worked as a female illusionist for years, but it was a job, and I was an actor. I never lived as a woman. I never thought I was a woman, and I never wanted to be a woman. I love being a man. So, you know, it's very difficult for people my age to adjust to what's going on today in the world. But you know what? It's no longer my world. I'm on my way out. And the kids that are coming in have a whole bunch of stuff to do until they're on their way out. So let them do it their way. What do I care? You know, I'm not having my wang chopped off for nobody. So that's all that matters. I take care of me. Let everybody take care of them.
There you
Right?
go. I
Right.
think that's fine. Everybody do what they want to do. Just don't.
But I don't.
But you
believe-
don't force it on everybody else.
No, but I don't believe that kindergarten, first and second grade should have drag queens come in and talk about how wonderful drag is. Drag is an act. It's a performance, and it's done on a stage. Let these kids grow up, and when they find out there's a drag review in town, they'll go see it. But I don't think children at 2 and 3 years old can understand why a man is dressed as a woman. I think it's a little baffling. In my day, boys had boy toys and girls had girl toys. Not anymore. Now they switch it. Boys have dolls and they play Barbies, and I don't know if that's good or bad. If I were young today and my daughters, I would still buy them girl toys. I want them to be mothers and women and feminine. I don't want a G.I. Joe daughter.
It is a new world, though, and I think that things are changing.
But things are changing, but I don't know that things are changing for the better or the worse. I can't figure it out. I don't really know, and I really don't care because it's not my world.
Well, it's not right, and it's not the world we live. I mean, we
No,
have to
it's
see
not
it,
my
but we
world.
don't live in that world. So
I lived in my world. My world has come and gone. Next week I'll be 83 years old. 83 years on this planet. You do
no,
learn.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. You do learn. You do learn a lot in 83 years on the planet. You've experienced a lot, and you get confused because I've seen the decades go by. The 1940s, the war. The 1950s, prosperity. The 1960s, the hippies. The 1970s, the revolutions. The 1980s, who knows? And then today, what the hell?
Okay, so let's go back to entertainment.
Well, this is entertainment to people who are interested. Not everybody wants stupidity, ha ha ha, and acting like jerks. There
We'll
are.
never do that.
Well, I'm a comedian, but I do have serious moments. I am on this planet, and I do have a voice, and I do have an opinion.
Which we do want to thank everybody for tuning in last week because the Tamara Glynn interview show, it did really well.
Well, it was a wonderful show because we talk the truth on my show. I know our guests are pre-warned. Do not come on our show and be a star, and don't talk about yourself like you're better than everybody, because then I can't stand it. Come on the show and let's talk real. Make believe we're in Brooklyn, in the projects where I was born, in the kitchen having coffee and Entenmann's crumb cake, and we're talking like friends. That every star has told us. Those that do it give us a great show. Those that ignore it and do, well, I'm going to be in a movie next week and I'm a star and I'm on television, then I have a Broadway show, and then I am, I will, I do, I. You people are bored because there's nothing worse. My mother used to say, self-praise stinks. And you know what? Self-praise does stink.
So they want to see your watch for today.
My wristwatch is blue and yellow because I'm wearing blue, white, green, yellow, orange, every shit in color. Look at this. Oh, look. Want to see cleavage? Anyway, that's enough. Now we can get stupid again. But I love Cece. I adore her. She was at our house the last time she was in Palm Springs, and we ate and danced and had the best time. She's a fun gal. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl also. So today, I'm going to try to fix her up with 5, how do you say it?
High five.
High five. Remember I said it in one of the shows?
What was his name?
I forgot his name. But I said, I have a girl for you. And he said, my God, Cece. He loves Cece. He thinks she's gorgeous. And I'm going to try to fix them up.
Hey, we're live, so people can maybe hear this. Are you on Google Chrome? Oh, wait.
Is that Cece?
Yeah.
Cece's on his phone.
Hang on.
People have trouble with this new crap streaming. Years ago, the Johnny Carson show was nice because the guests came into the studio, sat on the sofa, and nothing went wrong. But now with this streaming and technique and this and that, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. And lots of people who are over 50, they don't know how to work these gadgets of today. Like me, for example. Jimmy bought this car that has, I don't know why, it does everything but make coffee. But I don't know how to turn the radio on. I don't know how to do any of it in this car. This car is a very, very expensive, high-tech car. What kind of car is it?
Mercedes.
Well, what kind? The number?
C43 AMG turbo convertible.
See, he got the most expensive, stupidest machine in the world. It doesn't even drive nice. I want the truth. You feel every pebble in the road with a little stupid skinny tires. I think the car is overpriced. And I mean, I would have been my TT Roadster, which is an '04 TT Quadro, rides better than his Mercedes. My car has big tires, so it's soft, you bounce. But I just think everything is so inflated. All prices of everything are gone ridiculous. So that's why I've gone back to robbing banks. So I'm looking for a getaway driver. If anybody out there knows how to drive a getaway car, contact me. This way we can hit some banks. So I could buy, milk, bread, toilet paper, and coffee. I have to rob a bank in order to afford them.
We want to give a shout out to Victor too in the Viral Victor in the chat room. He said because like he helps me with websites when I have website. He's like a genius, you guys. So if you ever need a website made, he's the guy to go to. And you can hit me up.
Victor what? Victor Mature?
No, well, he goes by Viral Victor there. That's not his real name, but I don't know if he wants his real name out there. So
then how's he going to get clients?
He can come to me and I can tell people where to go. There you go. Welcome, Cece. Okay, she's there. All right. So you guys, we're going to bring on Cece. She made it in. Do you want to do this or no?
Yes, I want to do this. We might get thrown off the air, but we're going to try.
No, just for a second.
We're just going to play the legal part.
All right, everybody. So we're very excited to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, one of the biggest dance artists, musicians, singers, coolest chicks on the planet. Finally, we have Cece Peniston. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey! Hey! You get my pictures every time I see you. Look at you, you beauty. What's with you? What do you take, magic pills?
Look, that's Botox.
What she said? She said that's Botox. Are you on now? Now let me ask you: are you on the phone?
Botox.
This is Botox. Okay. Are you on a phone right now, or are you on the computer?
I'm on the phone.
See if you can turn the phone sideways.
Okay, is this better? Hold on one sec. Let me get in my. Hold on one sec.
Look at the high ceilings in your house. Wow.
So you,
hey!
You got a new look. You went blondish and curly.
You know, I'm always changing from day to day. I get bored. So I said, if I get bored, I know everybody else gets bored. You know that one, right?
You know, I did a big thing on Facebook today about you because you know how much I love you and that song. That's probably one of my most favorite songs in the world. Finally, it's a classic. It goes down as music. I wrote about it as music classic. I played it with my earplugs in and at my computer, and my feet couldn't stop. I was dancing while I was sitting down. That song, and I want to know all about it. I think we've asked you on the last show, but I'm going to ask you on this one. How the hell?
Wait. We got to introduce her to people.
Say hi
to the chat room. Say hi to the chat room. People are coming in.
There's no one else that looks like this.
I know, you're fabulous. And I want to tell you, so I went on Wikipedia today because I was like, okay, I know a lot about Cece. We've been friends. We work together. But you have all kinds of shit I didn't know about you on your Wikipedia. Your Wikipedia, you got a really detailed Wikipedia. Most people's not so detailed.
You know what? I feel like they're doing too effing much on my Wikipedia. First of all, I don't need 10 pages. Look, half of that, look, they said, what did they say? Look, this is funny. So they said I had a tummy tuck. I'm like, I have no children. I don't know how I had a tummy tuck. Okay, that's one. Okay, so that's one. And then they're like, with further ado, on the third album, I'm like, how do you have your personal opinion in Wikipedia? So I know it's somebody that's just like,
somebody's fucking with you or wants to put out shit on you that, like it said you had a beef with Monica on there, and I was like, that's fucking, that's jacked up.
They do it to me also.
But they also said you dated JoJo Haley. Is that true?
No.
Okay, so on there it says you dated JoJo Haley, even though you did do a song with him, though.
I did. You know what? I feel like it adds to the fun. Hey, let's have fun.
No, it really does. I was super fucking. I was super impressed.
Let
I
me-
was
let
like,
me-
hey,
let me-
you guys, JoJo Hale, you guys, just so you don't know, that's Casey and JoJo, one of the biggest R&B groups like in history. And they had so
I
much
just
great
want my
stuff.
question answered.
Okay.
Shut those lips.
Oh, you guys are so cute. Look, I miss you guys.
I miss you too. I really do. I want to invite you to the house if you have time. I make homemade pizza. And Cece, the other crazy Cece I love.
We had her on the show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
Oh,
she's
I know, that's my girl. I just spoke to her this morning.
Yeah, I
We
know.
love
So
her.
I would like you and the two CCs to come by, hang out at the house. We'll have pizza. You guys can drink wine. I don't. And we can just rap and
Oh,
talk.
when
But
are you
anyway,
coming
I
in?
want to
We'll
know.
go get back to that. Go.
I
No,
want.
but listen, but Jimmy, you know what? But listen, Ron makes the best sauce. I had your sauce, honey. So I already, you make the best sauce. So
I
just
make a good
because I've
pizza.
been to the house before, so I already
Yes.
know. Look,
Yeah, no.
I know he was looking for the videos today because he actually did a video vacuuming doing finally, but we couldn't find it.
Right.
I love
You
it.
know what, Cece,
Yes.
I have to say something, and people out there, please don't think I'm blowing smoke up my own ass because I'm not. But I know so many celebrities. I mean, I know so many famous people, but some are just sparklers, and this is a sparkler. Don't ask me why I fell in love with her, but I did. She's a sparkler. That's what I could. You're not even a star. You're a sparkler beyond a star. You have a wonderful voice. I wish your music was current. It's a sin that your music and the music of what's his name, who we love, the swing guy. We went to his concert. Sammy B. No,
Stevie B.
Stevie
oh,
B.
I'm working with Stevie B. We went to
You know Stevie B, right? I love Stevie B, and his music is not happening. Which brings me, I'm segueing into this little trap for you, my darling.
Okay, let's
You
go.
ready? You ready for this one?
Yes.
5. What's it called? 5-5.
Oh, high five. Okay.
High Five was on our show. And on High Five was a very, very tall,
I forgot his
thin,
name.
handsome black guy. Really good looking. So I
Might
said,
not be muscular
wait,
enough
I
for
said
you,
to
though.
him, are you married? He said, no, but I'm looking. I said, oh, I have a girl for you. He said, oh. I said, Cece Peniston. He said, oh my God, she's gorgeous. She wouldn't
And he
look at
says
me.
he knows you. No, he also says he knows you.
He knows you. He said, she would never look at me. I said, well, we'll see. When I see Cece, I'm going to ask her. He called, would you go on a date? He's really a sweetheart of a guy. I mean, he's really nice and well-mannered, well-spoken. He's a gentleman. He's not a pig.
You know what's funny is that people don't know this, but High Five is like one of my all-time favorite groups. Like whenever I go to a party, if they don't have High Five, I get agitated. I'm like, look, where is High Five? Like even my brother's
You should
wedding,
go out with him. She's playing hard to get. The song she's playing hard to get. It's like my
playing
favorite.
hard to
But you know what?
get.
He's really a handsome black man. He's got beautiful features, and he's tall and he's thin, well-spoken, gentleman. I was very, if he were gay
And he
and I
lives in
wasn't with
Texas.
this old man, I would have gone out with him myself. And I would have said, "Oh, Cece, he's
He lives in
mine."
Texas.
And he lives in Texas, not far from Arizona.
Oh, hey, boys.
Have you played with him ever? Have you guys ever done a show together?
You know what? One time, actually, probably about like 4 years ago, I did a show with them. But look, I played them all the time. So like we played 4 years ago. It was like me, High Five, and there was like somebody else, but I don't remember who else that was. But yeah, I know exactly who you
That's a
talking.
pretty good mix for you, though.
Well,
That's
he
somebody
just-
good.
I like the tall boys. I like.
Yeah.
No, but the first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Oh my God, I know her. She's gorgeous. She won't want to go out with me." And I said, "You never know." You
Well,
know?
I just don't want the short ones. You know, the ones that you can breastfeed standing up. I don't.
No. This one's tall. No. Listen, I saw your last boyfriend, and he was built like.
We don't know if that was her last boyfriend because we haven't seen her in 2 years.
Since I've seen you, you were with Hercules. That
It
guy was.
wasn't my boyfriend.
It was just a friend.
It was a
Your
friend.
friend.
Yeah, but
So-
we won't mention no names. But he was a nice guy. Very
He
good.
doesn't remember the name anymore.
No, you know what it is? I'm Italian. And Italians are born hopeless romantics. We love to see people in love. We love love. We love movies. We love food. We love everything. We just love birds. And I see you as such a splendid person. And you have so much to give a lucky guy because you're talented, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're charming, you're witty, and you can dance. So I would love to see you with somebody. But one is not a good number, Cece. When you get to be my age, it's nice to have, even though I fight with them all the time, it's nice to have.
You know what that is? I call that, and you're going to laugh about this. I call that the FFM. You know what that is?
No.
Fight, fucking, make up.
That's right.
That's
Fight,
right.
fucking, make up.
That's
You're
what we
right.
do. But I really think that all people, so many people say, oh, I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody. But they're full of crap because the next time I see them, they're with somebody. And I said, I thought you said you didn't want anybody. Oh, well, he's special or she's special. All right, give me a break. But, I was always looking on the look. I mean, when I was
He always looks for people for you. Every time we go someplace. Like,
Look, I just want a good guy who loves on me, who understands me, who's funny. I love a guy who's funny. Like, if you can make me
He's
laugh.
funny. Listen, this guy's funny. And I asked him, I have balls, I've got big balls. I said, you don't do drugs. No, I said, you don't do drugs. If you're a drug addict, we're not interested. And he said, no.
How you really feel? Look.
Well, he's a Christian and he doesn't believe in drugs or alcohol.
No, we like do all
because
that.
He's a good Christian. And I like that also because I know you're a Christian.
He talks to everybody about you. We're on a red carpet with Cynthia Bailey, and he's like talking to Cynthia Bailey because she used to be married to Leon, and he's a big famous actor.
I love Leon.
Yes, and fine.
And
I
he's
love
fine.
Cynthia. She's beautiful as well.
She's
Beautiful.
But I said to her, what's wrong with you? I said, I love Leon. He's the nicest guy in the world. Why'd you divorce him? So she started to laugh. She said, hey, Ron, things change. I said, oh, bullshit. I said, you should go back with Leon. Meanwhile, she was married to somebody else. I don't know.
She's like,
But
everywhere we
she's a
go,
beautiful
anytime
girl.
we meet a handsome black man who's not like 20, he always tries to fix you up and figure out, but then he talks to him and finds out he's like, they're not going to be any good for her.
I'm like your
He's
father.
like your father.
I'm like your father.
I love it.
I have to approve of your man. If I don't like his ways, if I think he's a dopey, a jerk, a screwball, or a woke, or one of those other nut jobs, not for you. You need a sensible man, tall, thin,
Who's
handsome,
not jealous.
with money. You need money also. I don't like poverty.
He has to support himself.
Yes.
Right. There you go.
So I'm going to contact
And
him.
not be jealous the fact that you're like a superstar and
I'm
everybody
going
knows
to
you.
contact him and say to him, Cece said, let's have dinner or lunch. Texas is not far from Arizona. He's really good looking.
Look, see, Ron, you're trying to get me in trouble.
No. What the hell?
Oh, you didn't ask her if she's dating anybody. What if she's got a boyfriend now?
You know what's funny? I really don't like to tell people what I'm doing because they always wonder, we never see you with anybody. And I was like, unless he's my husband, you never will.
Good. That's good.
So I just kind of keep my private life to myself because I feel like that's the only thing that I have that's my private part.
When our last show got 8 million, show got 8 million plays, so why don't you tell everybody who you're dating?
No, you know what, Cece? I'm from the 1940s Hollywood. And back in those days, we had magazines that would photograph the stars on dates in their home. It was all bullshit. Tab Hunter was dating Natalie Wood. Meanwhile, he was screwing Tony Perkins. So, but it was called publicity. So sometimes you have to let the public a little bit into your private life. So you're not only a performer, but you're a human. People like humanity. Like some stars, they become alcoholics and they fall down in the street and they write about it. Well, the public feels sorry for them. And the public wants to help
I'm glad you
them.
don't do that.
No, I'm not saying
I've done that before. I have drunk and called out. Nobody knows about it.
Wait, where are you appearing at the White Party? I know you're the star of the White Party.
Yes, you're doing.
Look, hey, that was a long time ago, though, Jimmy. Look, let's not.
I know. So wait, you're going to be here this weekend, May 14th. You're performing at the White Party, which, by the way, we've had Anaya Day, and I think we've had Crystal Waters both on the show. Robin S. we have not had, but you're performing with those. When are you performing? Sunday?
Sunday at around, I think, 7 o'clock, something like that.
Where is it going to be held?
I bet you don't know. It's wherever the White Party is. It's in a big field someplace, I think.
Jimmy, he said, I bet she doesn't know. Look.
All you do is perform everywhere, so you just probably get on a plane and go and show up and do your shit.
And how much of the
Look, I need to know time, If the sound's gonna be great, what the outfits are, hair, makeup. Let me do my thing. Let me make people smile. You know what? One thing I like to do is like, I just want to make people smile. I want them to have memories. Because you know what? Like for me, when I hear other artists and what they don't understand is like they create memories for me. So I'm like, when I hear their music, I'm like, yo, I'm by the side, like, yo, I remember in so and so, this music came on or this song came on. And they don't understand that they are my memories as well. So it kind of goes back and forth. You know what I mean? Who loves me, I love them, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You give what you get.
Yeah.
But you are timeless because your music is timeless. I mean, you know, I was a fan of Mary Wells. Mary Wells.
Yeah, Mary Wells.
Mary Wells. That's how far back I go. Remember Mary Wells? You don't know.
Of course. Who
Oh,
could
you know Mary Wells. Okay. That's how far back, you know. Love, we'd better make up, yeah, before we break up and you lose me. Look to me, the one who really loves you. Classic music. Or how about Ain't No Mountain High Enough?
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Goosebumps. But anyway.
Ain't no valley wide enough. Hey.
These songs will never end. Tina Turner, never end.
That's my girl. You know how much I love her. I love Tina Turner so much. Like she is like my muse. She is like my idol. Like I love her. You know how people have people that they love?
Yeah.
And I love doing her voice. I can do her voice.
Oh, do her voice.
You want me to do it? Okay, hold on. You must understand it's the touch of my hand. Oh, wait. You must understand it's the touch of your hand. Makes my pulse react.
Oh my God, that's fabulous. That's what you can play, Tina.
Oh, what's love got to do?
You know what?
Got to do with it.
If they ever update her life story again, to me, tell the real truth, because the story that they told about Tina was not all the truth. Tina had to curb a lot of stuff. But if they ever do the real Tina Turner life story, you should play it because you could sing it.
I would love to.
Dance. You could do her shake.
You know what's funny is that people don't know, like as artists, when you say curb, a lot of times you curb because you don't want to embarrass or say anything off about the executives or the people that have Gigi, shut up about the that's my dog. You don't want to say anything to embarrass or to make anyone in a bad light, right? You may know here, you may know what you see, but at the same time, God gave you a gift and you have to do that gift, right?
Don't call it a true life story. Don't do that because you're deceiving the public. I'm
not deceiving. I've been deceived. I'm gonna say
Tina.
I've been deceived and she's been deceived, but there are certain, let me say this, that people don't know. There are certain contractual things that are put into clauses that say, hey, if you say this, you're going to get jacked up.
Yes.
So sometimes it's not that the artist doesn't want to be like
totally real.
I want to fight you. I want to put on my my bonnet like somebody's auntie.
We understand all of that because we've had some difficulty with that sort of thing also because I'm very outspoken and I tell what I feel, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, shut your TV. Don't watch me. So far, 5 million people every week watch us, so they like us. So whatever we're doing right. And what I deal in is honesty. Every one of my people out there that watch our show know if Ron Russell says it, it's the truth. I will not bullshit any, like loving you. I don't do that with every guest that comes on, you know. If I don't love you, I just say, hi, it's so nice to see you. Gee, you look good, blah, blah, blah.
Jimmy, you know I know. Ron, you know I know. Look, you're my boy. I love y'all. I already know if you don't like somebody, you'll be like, okay, and 3, 2, 1. Interview is over in 30 minutes. Y'all be like 29 and 59 seconds. It was so nice to have you.
We had a record one for like 12 minutes once, and believe it or not, we're actually friends with the person now. Who I'm not going to tell everybody.
What happened?
Ron Moss. The first time we had Ron Moss on, Ron couldn't stand. And he's like in a big band and a huge soap opera star. And we were in Pennsylvania. And Ron made a joke about how good looking he is, and he didn't take it well. And like immediately, Ron was like, "Yeah, we're like done with this," and we were like, "Bye." And I swear it wasn't even 8 minutes.
Yeah, but I got him years later when I met him. We were sitting in Sue Wong's solarium in her mansion, and I was talking to he and his wife Devin, who I love. We've become very good friends. And Ron Morse is a sweetheart, and I mentioned that to him, and he said, "Oh, sometimes we don't feel good when we get interviewed, but we get a little testy." I said, "Testy?" I said, "You're an out-and-out fuck." So we are good.
And now we're friends.
Now we're friends.
He's been on the show again.
And
I'm so done.
they just moved to Arizona.
Oh,
So-
yeah, they moved to
So
Arizona.
Ron Morse and Devin are living in Arizona. You froze.
Oh, no, she froze. What happened?
Cece.
Can you hear us? Uh-oh. You might have to come back. Let's see what's
I'm
going
not
on.
saying.
Oh, there we go. Hold on. You're frozen.
Well, we got to keep talking, otherwise people think we went off the
Oh, yeah,
air.
we didn't go off the air, you guys. Cece froze on us, and I'm not sure why.
This is the bad part of podcasting. Rather
That
than
happens everywhere, though.
Yeah, but in studio interviews are so much easier, my God, because the guest is there, you're talking to them. It's a nicer feeling. I wish we could go back to in studio interviews, but I doubt we ever will.
We'll never go back.
Because celebrities now are so used to doing it from their bedroom, they don't want to get dressed and have to come on.
So,
a
Cece,
show.
if you can hear us, maybe like log out and log back in again, or Juan, I don't know if there's anything you can tell her to do, or send her something in the chat, but let's see if we can do something there. And in the meantime, chat room, what's up? This is Cece Peniston. She's had, I think, 5 number ones on Billboard, and she's fabulous.
Maybe we could play her song, Love.
Not Love. It's not called Love.
What's it called?
That's Angie's song.
No, I know, but this one's about love. What is it?
No, it's called Are You Ready?
Are You Ready? Let's play
Let's play Are You Ready, Juan, while we're getting Cece back on.
Right.
You guys, this is Cece Peniston's newest song. It's called Are You Ready? I got a great video of Ron dancing with her in the living room, and check it out. Are You Ready by Cece Peniston. Hopefully we'll be right back.
Are you ready? Are you ready for love? 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 Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready for the day when love is away? When there is no more war and poverty? Are you ready for the day when love is away? When everyone will finally be free? Are you ready for the day when love is away? Imagine just how happy we will be. When love is away, there will be a brighter day for you and me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Love. Are you ready for love? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh. Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready for love? Are you ready for the day when love is away and all of us are one big family? Are you ready for the day when love is away, even though we sometimes disagree? Are you ready for the day when love is away? Kindness is a new reality. When love is away, there will be a brighter day for you and for me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready for love?
Now
you
listen.
ready for
Go sideways again. Go
love?
sideways again. You're such a star.
Cece, listen up. You keep me alive, you know that? Because I play that song, Finally, and a bunch of others 3 times a week, and I dance for a half hour for cardiovascular and to keep my weight down. Seriously. So for all you people out there that want to lose weight, put this music on. You can't help. Listen, when I went to see Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Finally was played on that movie, I almost jumped out of my seat. I couldn't stop moving while I was
There you go. Perfect.
while I was watching the movie. I couldn't sit still.
No, I like
Cece's music and a lot of other people's music. Sister Sledge, I love her too. Kathy, I love Kathy Sledge. You know Kathy Sledge? She froze again. I think it's your camera, your phone.
Oh, maybe we should have made her keep it where it was.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep talking. Anyway, there are so many.
Shit, she dropped the phone though. Maybe that did something with it.
Could have been, could be. There are so many performers out there today who are from the golden era of music, I call it.
Juan, you can bring her out and tell her to come back in again and just tell her that. Oh, hang on.
You know, because music is of a different date doesn't mean it's old. There's no such thing as old music. Music belongs to everyone, and music is timeless. If you enjoy it, it's not old. If you don't like it, then what does it matter? But the music of today, I'm not happy with. It doesn't do to me what this music does. These disco sounds or swing or whatever they're called of years ago really got you going, kept you popping and jumping and hopping.
Absolutely. So let's do a little bragging for Cece while we're waiting for all this to work out.
It.
So first of all, you guys, she had 5 #1 hits on the U.S. Billboard Hot Dance Charts. Finally, We Got a Love Thing, Keep on Walking. I don't know which the other ones were. Inside That I Cried and Moving On probably would be my guess. She also starred in The Wiz. She played Glenda the Good Witch with Peebo Bryson and Grace Jones.
Wow. Oh, Grace Jones. I met her. She was fun. Grace Jones was quite a character. I met her in Greenwich Village many, many, many years ago. And I first thought she was a drag queen because I thought it was a man because she's as tall and big as a man. And then they said to me, "That's Grace Jones." And I said, "Oh, my God, really?" She was quite a character. She was a very strange woman. When she spoke, she didn't make so much sense. No, she was like, she spoke poetically or something weird.
Yeah, she was a supermodel, though, and she was in The Bad Guy in James Bond, in one of the James Bond movies. She was freaking awesome.
Oh, I know who Grace Jones is, yeah. I know her brother, so do you.
Yes, unfortunately, he passed.
He died?
Yes.
Oh.
A couple of years ago, I think cancer.
He was such a nice fellow.
His name was Chris Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He died. Oh.
Actually, Nile Rodgers, we know Nile Rodgers. He's been on the show, and he's very good friends with my business partner, Eileen. So we know Nile Rodgers, just to let you know. People in here in the chat room are saying things. Nile Rodgers, we know Nile Rodgers. He's a huge music producer. We know everybody.
Here she is.
We know everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so I just bragged and told everybody that you had 5 #1 hits on the U.S. Billboard chart. So as I was reading your Instagram, not your Instagram, your Wikipedia. So there's this song, and I had never even heard the song before until like 10 years ago. Somebody auditioned on X Factor in Britain, and they sang the song, and I love the song. And then I was on your Wikipedia, and you did a cover of the song, and I don't know if it was officially released, but the song is Somebody Else's Guy. It's like the greatest song on the fucking planet. You did a cover, right?
Thank you. I did it on my second album. No, third album. Talking about I can't get off my high horse, and I can't let you go. You are the one who makes me feel so real. Yeah. Oh, what am I supposed to do, baby?
wonderful.
When I'm so hooked on you. But look.
That's great.
Right.
So look, I never sing live, and I do that on purpose because I'm like, I only want to do it sometimes. I feel like when you do it all the time, people get used to the all the time, and they get like bored.
Your acoustics are so good.
Kudos.
glad that you-
Kudos. Let me give
Kudos
you
to us.
kudos.
Saying kudos to us.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm happy that you think we're so special that you did this for us. I can't say enough about you. I can't say enough about Patti LaBelle, and I can't say enough about Kathy Sledge. Three of the people who I really, really love watching perform. I want to say something that's going to sound very, very, I don't know, maybe not so hot, but I don't give a shit. For all of you out
That's
there,
why I love you.
go fuck yourself. Black
Look,
people,
sit and spin.
black entertainers have brought to our culture some of the best music ever
created in
and
history.
ever since I remember when I was 10 years old, there was a singing group called the Ink Spots. If I didn't care for you. And I remember in my neighborhood, people telling me, we had the little radio, get those ends off. Could you imagine that? You know, the word, the N word.
Yes.
And as a 10-year-old boy, I'd say, fuck you. I come from Italian neighborhood, Brooklyn. We talk that way.
My parents are from Brooklyn, so I get
Oh, yay! So she knows.
Yeah.
It's my radio. Fuck you. You're not going to tell me who to play on my radio. But I then realized that we had a problem. Imagine at 10 years old. Johnny Mathis came into my life at 16. I've met Johnny 3 times. I love and adore him. He's the nicest
Oh my God,
fella.
he would dump me for Johnny Mathis in
And
a heartbeat.
I'm a junkie. No, I only play Johnny Mathis when we play cards every week with my kids. I know every album of his. I love him too. So black people have really brought a culture to our world that we didn't have before. We had Peggy Lee, who's wonderful, and Doris Day and Rosemary Clooney, but these were all, very, very conservative singers. They sang lyrics nicely, but they didn't sing soul. Then Mary Wells came along and Diana Ross and a bunch of other girls, and soul became the music sound. And my darling, when you sing, it comes from your soul, not your mouth.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know what's crazy?
And I'm not being bullshit artist here. I'm not trying
He
to.
never says that shit
I'm
to
not trying to.
anybody.
I already know.
I'm not-
I know him.
You are asked to
I
be my
know.
friend.
No.
You're my friend already. But I can't say enough about you or Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle, I have never met. Came close to it because Kathy Sledge lived next door to us in Pennsylvania. And Patti was going to her house for dinner. And she said, I was inviting Patti and her husband to my house for dinner. She said to me, can I bring Patti LaBelle? I almost dropped dead. I said, you're going to bring Patti LaBelle to cook? Cooks like there's no tomorrow to my house? As it turned out, we sold our house and had to move before it happened. And I regret that day because I'm going to go back to Philly when we move back to New York. And I'm going to go where I know where Patti lives. I'm knocking on her door. And I'm going to say to her, listen, bitch, call the cops. I don't care. But I love you. And I have to meet.
love her. I love her. When I tell you as a child, I just loved her music so much. She influenced me so many times. I remember going to the Soul Train Awards. She was there. Luther was there. And I met her and I was like 21 years old. And she was like, hi, baby. How you doing? And I was sitting there like, loving you. I love you. Like she was so warm and just like, look, I have her cookbook. So I took a few tips from there too. So I'm just telling you, I absolutely love her. And I thank you for the love and the gratitude that you give me because I absolutely love singing. And it's so funny because this is a real story. So when I did Somebody Else's Guy, I saw Jocelyn Brown, right, who's the original singer of Somebody Else's Guy. So I never want to take it from another one of my sisters who do what they do, right? I just love that song so much that I just wanted to do my version of it because I loved it at the time. She told me, she said, You sing good now. She said, but you will sing great when you go through a lot of life's lessons. And so I
Absolutely.
never forgot that. And I never told that story to anybody. And I've been going through life's lessons. And I can just tell you that when you go through that, you sing from your gut and your soul differently when you can't, I call it yell singing. So you know how you really want to be like, ah, but you can't, you be like, ah, yes, but you're really yelling, singing. You really want to yell at somebody, but you can't. So you sing with intention and power. And I think that that's why like people like Jocelyn Brown, Tina Turner, are those Patti LaBelle, are those people that I absolutely love because they sing from the gut and they say the things you can't say physically, but they
Exactly.
say it singing. Yeah.
Right. And Kathy Sledge has said to me, the Lord is the one she sings for, because she came from a very, very religious family, she and her sisters. And they're very well brought up girls. They're decent girls. They're not whores or druggies or anything. They're very lovely, lovely, lovely people.
Yeah, we've met most of them.
Yeah, I met all of them practically. You cannot find a better family or nicer people than the Sledge family. And
She is wonderful. Like her whole, like the whole team. Kathy always does an amazing show, which I can tell you from like when she performs to the dancers to the background where you see the background, like, her pictures, video.
We saw her in a play where she played. Who did she play?
Oh, I don't remember. It was a TV series. It was an all-black,
No.
one of the first all-black comedy TV series, and we went to the.
No, not that. We went and saw her in an off-Broadway
Oh,
show where
we
she
saw
played
her.
Mama.
No. We went to 54 Below in New York City, the nightclub.
Okay.
And she was playing.
Mom.
No, shut up. You screwed me up now.
Y'all are so cute.
Mama said and Daddy said, Papa said don't. The famous singer, the greatest singer
like
in the
the
world.
greatest,
with
like
the
Billie
flag.
Holiday.
Billie
She
Holiday.
played Billie Holiday.
Oh, one of my faves as well.
Yeah, and she sang
was,
Billie Holiday.
And it
she
was
great.
fucking amazing.
But the story that I thought Jimmy was going to tell is I was best friends with Jane Russell. I knew Betty Davis. I know all the great movie stars in the world that people say, oh my God, you know them. Wasn't that exciting? And I say, yeah, it was okay. Now I'm at this preview of a black television show, comedy show. And who do I meet but Kathy Sledge for the first time? I began to jump up and down and scream to Jimmy, get out
I was
there,
like on the other side of the room, and he's screaming. I thought he was hurt or something.
No, I didn't have my cell phone.
No, I love her. I love her.
I didn't have my cell phone. So I said, Jimmy, get over here.
I have to run over there and take a picture. I mean, he meets all these like A-list, people, and she's A-list too. But like, nobody's impressed. And he was telling her about how "We Are Family" is our song.
As time went on and we became really good friends, she said to me, "Why was your reaction about my song? We Are Family." I said, "Because there was a time when all gay people were being persecuted and being beaten and denied jobs and homes to live in. And we used to all get together and we used to sing, I'm going to cry. We used to all sing, We Are Family, because that's all we had was each other. The white world and the straight world, they didn't want us. So you understand that, my darling.
No, I do love, because you know what? I feel like people use the narrative of what they want to use when they want to use it. Whatever makes it work for them. And it's like, no, you don't understand that us girls, Kathy Sledge, Crystal Waters, Robin S., all of us, Evelyn, all of us, like, we have been doing the narrative of the LGBTQ crowd, excuse me, I'm sorry, since the beginning of the 90s. They've changed everything so much. So, yes. But what I can tell you is,
and we know that.
The support that I have received as an artist, the love that I have received, the shows that I've been on, the people have told me, hey, I've come out to your songs. Like, for me, it makes me emotional.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I'm just like, I never thought, I was just a kid, 21 years old, writing a song that, like, hey, it finally happened to me. I fell in love. Like, and they were like, hey, I fell in love with my man. I fell in love with my girl. Hey, I fell in love with my guy. Like, it was like, it was like gay and straight all at one, and I never knew that it was going to reach that far. It was just one of those songs that I felt in my heart, and when I saw how much people loved it, I can't tell you how,
still love it.
like, to this day, like, I have been emotional about it when I hear it on stuff. I don't think that people understand that that's the part that through the fuckery, I will say,
Right.
has kept me going, because, and the fuckery is not on like any one person. It's just people who are greedy and want to embody, like you said, Ron, the narrative that makes it work for them, instead of saying, hey, these are my folks, these are my people, these are the people that have supported me, these are people that have loved me. And so I'm so thankful, and I just can't show sometimes how much gratitude I have through the music industry, through people who have supported me, through people who have downloaded all of my songs, through people who have downloaded finally, through people who have downloaded my catalog. And so I'm just so thankful, and I'm just I couldn't say it more, just to say thank you so much. I feel blessed. I'm thankful for friends like you who have me on their show and who uplift me and say, hey, you made a difference in my life. Because
You did.
just because
You
you're
did.
a friend,
You really
just
did.
because you're a friend doesn't mean it doesn't make a difference, right?
No,
No,
you,
absolutely.
you did make a difference because
For everybody.
and I have to insist on saying this. Everyone out there, please, I swear on God, my kids, my dog, Jimmy, my money, no, that finally makes me nuts. I played it this morning on the computer, and I played it before we went on the show, and I didn't
He
stop
plays it
there.
all the time.
Why that song is in my brain, and my feet do not. I have bad knees. I need my knees done. I have bone on bone. I could barely walk sometimes. Finally, it was on. I was dancing like an 18-year-old.
Plus, I got a new whip, and we like to play it in the car.
There's something about that song that is just so inspiring.
I want to bring up a different topic.
Yes.
So,
Thank you, Ron.
he's fabulous.
It's true.
I
I
love you.
I think
I love you more.
that you're very well known as a dance club artist. You have 5 #1 Billboard dance hits, but you can sing.
Yep. You have a voice.
I went through your catalog. Since I knew you were coming on, I've been listening to everything that's been released. You have a zillion ballads that show that you are one of the most talented singers ever, that unfortunately I don't think get the exposure.
Oh, wait, I have to say something.
Right. They don't get the exposure that they should get, to people know that you're an all-around artist and you can sing the fucking phone book.
And let's talk about Wendy Moten.
Oh, yes. Do you know Wendy Moten?
I do. I know. Me and Wendy haven't spoken in a long time, but I know who you're talking about. So let me say this. What's going on in the world right now of music is, I looked at my catalog and there were 92 songs
Of yours?
Yeah, she got 92 songs.
that disappeared that are in the red on my catalog.
Oh, shit.
I
That's
don't
a lot.
understand that. What are you talking about?
So, as an artist, you know how people report and say, hey, that you've done different songs, right?
Right.
And say, hey, this is Cece Peniston in conjunction with this artist. So I looked and I was like, how is it that 92 songs
Disappeared?
She's not getting paid for them.
Hey, but I will, motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Well,
You will.
Listen, they have disappeared. And I'm like, how is it that someone can just change the whole narrative of what you've done all of a sudden to say that you haven't done it, or changed the title, or done anything, right? So this is an exclusive of stuff I never say. So I'm telling you, Jimmy and Ron, look on my catalog. Everything is in red. How is it in red that songs that I've done with my voice all of a sudden changed around, that they're not there? I guess people forgot that we had contracts, honey.
Yeah.
I guess they thought that I don't have them.
Well,
Okay. So we're gonna say that, and then this. people don't know this, but when you do one song, right, you can do 84 remixes of the same song. So that one song, so let's say you do the one song, now you have 84 songs, really. So imagine 92. 92 times 85 is what?
A lot.
A lot.
Okay. So I
Like,
really
like 8,000 or something. It's
right. Let's add to that AI.
yeah.
Well, I know you can't comment on this, but I want the people out there to know Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, used Finally without her permission.
At the end of the song.
And that is not, in the song, the guys, when they
No,
came
at the end of the movie. Yeah, it was like the finale of the fucking movie.
those, like, looking like dragons. And I mean, it was wonderful. To hear that in the theater, it was a wonderful piece of work anyway, because the boys were wonderful in their costumes and the choreography was great and her voice. So it was a moment in the film where you would remember. But how dare they do that without giving you a royalty or some kind of something? They can't just
Let me give you an update. You ready for the update?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm giving you all kinds of nuggets. So the update is there are contracts.
Oh.
There are contracts. But finally,
Wait, you mean contract?
so here's what it was. Finally was renamed Overture and Finale, Finale.
Right.
So how is Finally the original song getting credit?
It's not. Finale got credit.
And so did Overture.
No plagiarism. They still stole your song. That's your voice, your song. It wasn't even like they had a make-believe person sing it. It was Cece Peniston singing it. It was the original recording. Am I correct?
Look, was it Cece Peniston or Cecily?
Who the hell is Cecily?
Right.
This
Jimmy, are you feeling what I'm putting down right now?
Absolutely. I totally got it.
So I'm just telling you that certain things are put in place. This is why this is a very big thing. Artists, do not let anyone spell your name wrong. Ever. Like if they're like, oh, we made a mistake, correct it.
Right.
Because what happens is when they do that, that's a whole nother portal. So if they don't spell it CECE put together, or they spell it CE space CE, now you have two different things.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
They're trying to jack you.
That is so bullshit.
I mean,
Pretty much.
if it's an interview, it could just be a misspelling. But if it's something to do with your actual song, they're trying to jack you. Yes.
I mean, there should be a law or something about it to protect singers. We have, Joya from
Joya Bruno.
Joya Bruno. Do you know who she is?
From Expose.
Another gorgeous voice.
They got jacked too.
Yes.
I mean, Joya Bruno sings like there's no tomorrow. She's the best. And her music made millions of dollars, and she told us she didn't even have $500. They robbed her of all her money.
I've been through those moments where I had nothing, where I had less, where I had a negative account. And you know what? It was those moments where it wasn't by my own hand, where I said, okay, you will F me up again and I'll be ready. And so they did, and I was ready.
You're ready.
You got smart. You learned. You got smart.
What you have to do as an artist, and this is to all artists, if you can vocally do all your songs over, now you have another master. Like, this is where, remember when Taylor Swift talked about how, and this is not to start a ongoing settlement, a pandemic, or a thing. I have to say that just to protect me. All artists, make sure your name is spelled right. Make sure your account is in your name. Make sure you can do all your songs over with all your vocals. Then you own the licensing to those masters, right?
Yep.
If you need to do a live show and you're on tour and your voice.
Oh no! There we go.
And your voice goes out, then you already know that you can have a cover down. It doesn't mean that you can't sing. It means that these particular sound people don't know your voice. So you should always cover down on what you're doing. It's funny because someone told me, they're like, have you ever used a vocal version? I said, absolutely. I said, but the difference is, it's not because I'm using it to misrepresent my vocals to anybody, but I'm using it because I know that the sound man doesn't get me and I don't want to fight with him. So I'm like, group 2, let's do the vocals, because I want to make sure that people know that I can sing, but there's an issue in this moment. And if you don't want to let the crowd know that there's an issue, you make sure that you cover down.
That's so funny because
now, didn't you have a problem with somebody in a song that did the ho oh 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 that sound that you created?
I don't know if she. Yeah.
Did they ever stop doing that? Did you stop them?
Not really, but you know what's funny? I have receipts.
She has receipts.
I have receipts, but again,
that was big news because when I Googled you, it came up right at the top.
Of course it did, because it's like, let me make Cece, instead of her doing what her life work is, let me attach it to this, because then she won't get the credit for doing what she does as an artist, right? So my thing was this, it's going to be there. I have to address it accordingly, but I do have receipts that say differently. So I could be messy if I wanted to, but I choose not to, because you know what? What is that going to really solve? If I'm messy and I say, see, look, this says this and that, I could be messy, right? But what's that really going to do?
It may smarten people up to think that they can't get away with this bullshit anymore. You know, if we take what the government is throwing our way and we don't like it, we deserve it. If we don't like what the government's throwing our way, let's rebel. Let's speak out. Let's change it. We, the people, are the people. The government only is the heads that control the people.
I agree with you though, Cece, because he doesn't know who the person is, and like it would.
I'm a fighter.
It might,
I would
but
get
it
messy.
might reflect.
I would get very
it might
messy.
reflect negatively on you in the long run. That doesn't, and the benefit might not outweigh. It might not outweigh.
I don't
the benefit.
care. I would say, listen, bitch. You tried to copy and steal something from me. You had no right to do that, and I'm going to make it public. And,
she did make it public. Everybody knows.
Shame on you, you moron. What, you couldn't come up with something on your own? You had to steal from me? I'm from Brooklyn.
So here's what happens, Ron.
What?
I need you to redo what you do. Like, I need you to redo what you did the first time. And when you can't keep doing it on the way that you really do it, instead of using other people's bodies of work, that reflects on you. I don't have to do anything to you. God has already blessed me and God already covers me. And again, if I make it too public, see, that's how you get your ass kicked. And people don't really understand that. And Jimmy, I know you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between, hey, this is some bullshit. I'm feeling a certain type of way. You guys obviously see it, right? But if I start going, this person and this person, they're going to be like, oh, you want to name names.
Right.
So it's not really, if I name names, really, what is it going to do?
Okay, so tomorrow
tomorrow,
but
I can say this. I can put out new bodies of work when the situation is settled. Let me say this. When the situation is settled and all royalties are pointing
to you,
to me. There's a difference between, hey, everything is split, it's going to this, and that. But when all royalties are pointing to me, then I can say, hey, here's my new music, here's this, here's that. It's a different energy than you doing whatever. And then we'll see what happens, because let's be real. The narrative is controlled by the people who want to control it.
Right.
If you make too much.
Oh, shit.
No, she's okay.
Oh, this shit. Hang on. We lost audio.
Oh, wait, audio. We lost audio.
Okay.
Check your audio. There you go.
Okay. So if I make too much noise in the wrong way, all it's looked at it is, hey, Cece is being a problem. She is talking about things that don't need to be talked about. She's not being responsible. as an artist, I still have a responsibility as an artist, right?
Yep.
I have a responsibility to the people that let me be in the business and still support me. And regardless of what the bad part is, it's still one of those things where it's like, okay, let's handle this behind the scenes. And that's what people don't understand. That's why I don't yell. That's why I don't name names. I'll say enough to say, hey, this is enough. I've had enough. Please just let me perform, create memories. Let me love on people. Let me go and perform and do what I do. Let's quit doing this part.
Yep.
And it's irritating because on a random day, they take me on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is, let me tell you the good part. You ready? The good part is I learned to be a better businesswoman.
Oh yeah, you have since I talked to you.
Right. The
feel
good
like
part
a
is I sing with more intention, because when you get mad, you sing a little bit harder in the way that you really want to sing, right?
Yes.
And the other thing is, you create more music. You decide if you want to be in the business instead of people telling you you have to.
Right.
So I'm thankful for being in the business since 1991. I'm grateful for the experiences that I had in giving people memories. But at the same time, I don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't want to keep people poking at me, right? Because I'm irritated about it. No, I'm irritated about it, but I look calm in the face. So I'm irritated about it, but I don't want it. Really, what I want, let's solve it behind the scenes.
Yep.
Let's not keep talking about it. Let me make new music and let's move on.
Move on.
Like,
Exactly.
let's move on. This is the move on interview that I can tell you that I want to do with people. I don't want to keep doing the same. Why is this acting weird, my camera?
Oh shit. And we got to bring on another guest. So we got to hopefully she comes back. Bring her back real quick so we can tell her.
Because I have to tell her something.
We have to bring her back.
Bring her back. Cece.
Well, she fell out.
I wonder why. I guess cell phones are not good. You're moving the thing, Jimmy.
Oh.
Your foot moved the thing.
Yes, it's okay. So, hey Juan, is she still there? She might have to call back in again. There she go. Oh, she's not there. He says she's not there. Shit. All right, one more minute.
Here we go.
And we'll get her back.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
I want to say something, and this is an exclusive. Tomorrow, I'm going into a recording studio. My name will be Cece Peniston, and I'm going to sing normally.
See, here we go.
Normally, I found someone who loves me normally. I love you. That's all.
I love you so much too.
No, listen, Cece, because we have another guest who's waiting to come on. So first of all, I want to tell everybody, follow Cece, you guys, on Instagram at Cece Peniston. She's going to be at the White Party this Sunday. I'm going to call you when we get done with the show. Are you going to be around just to find out when you're coming in?
Yes, I definitely will. And I also want to say this. I'm going to be at the Georgia Peach Festival on June 3rd.
Okay.
And I'm going to be at July 30th. I'm going to be at Atlanta City Winery. I'll be in Connecticut. I have a couple of things coming up, but those are the main things right now.
Yeah, we're going to be making, as soon as the strike's over, we're making some movies in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I love it. They need to stop the bullshit and have y'all writing. Just give y'all what y'all see. That's like the streaming. Don't get me started. Okay.
Well, you have to come back so we could discuss it.
Yes, we'll talk to you. I'm going to call you after the show just so we can find out when you're coming in. So hopefully we can work it out to see you. And thank you for coming on and giving us all these exclusives.
Finally,
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
No lyric. Finally, I found Cece with a smile on my face. Finally, I found Cece. Come to Palm Springs. I love her.
All right, you guys. Now we're going to
she's a very smart girl. She's a very kind girl. She's got a great heart. She's a good human being. I'm so proud and happy to know her.
Absolutely. So
and have her as a good friend.
All right, come on, Juan. Let's bring in our next guest. We kept him waiting. Bring him on in. Hello, Charles. How are you?
I'm doing great. I loved listening to the CC chat. That was good. That was great.
We love Cece. So everybody, Charles didn't write his little name in there. So this is Charles Rosenay. Is that how I pronounce it?
That's correct. Yeah,
Charles
I did
Rosenay.
write it. I don't know why it's not in there. It's certainly undermined.
Oh, there we go. So, all right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, author, producer Charles Rosenay with an F in the middle. It's very nice to meet you, and welcome to the show.
Who's the third host there that I didn't meet? Who's that?
That's Astro.
That's Astro,
Right. Look at that.
our rescue.
Astro's name right to you. I
Mention
love it.
his name and he has to kiss me.
So this is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host Ron Russell.
How are you?
I am
Wait,
great.
Wait, are you from New York?
I'm in Connecticut now. I wanted to hear where Cece's going to be in Connecticut. I'll have to go visit.
Yes, we'll find out. I'll find out for you. He's in Connecticut.
Well, that's
Actually,
close to New York.
So we met Charles through Kadrolsha.
KO.
Carol, KO introduced me to him.
KC with the rack.
Yeah.
I never noticed. I wouldn't know.
That broad with that. I mean, on my Facebook page, she put such pictures of that rack, and it's great. And nobody comments. They're all afraid. I'm the only one that comments on her tits.
He comments on everybody's tits.
No,
It's
but
news to
I
me.
tell her, I say, I see the sisters want to come out for some air. You know, I do all these jokes, and Cece loves it. She cracks up laughing. I think she's a great gal anyway.
Yeah, we love KO.
We're going to see her when I'm planning on going to New York in July with Jimmy, and Casey's on our list.
So anyway, let's go to promote.
How do you know her?
From Chiller Theater, we're both there as guest celebrities, and we sign autographs and meet the fans and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, we did a show with her in a haunted crazy house, insane asylum on Long Island.
I love
And
it.
it's a video. We have the video out. Got a lot of plays,
Yeah,
right?
you got like 300,000 plays.
Yeah, and it's really a campy, fun video.
Actually, we should share that some more. I need to do it. All right, so you're an author. I want to talk a little bit about the author collector thing because for me, which I'll tell everybody in a minute. But first of all, so I think from what I got, besides the one up there, you have the book of top 10 horror list, which it says I actually read monsters, celebrities, actors, athletes, and rock stars. The book of top 10 horror list. So tell me, so that means it's like a book where you got the top 10 horror lists from a bunch of famous people, right?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Exactly. Rock stars, actors, authors, they all, I've been working on that for many, many years. Got 100 top 10 lists. It could be any theme they wanted, their favorite horror movies, their favorite horror themes in films, actors, whatever, as long as it was horror related, the 10 things that scared them, whatever. And I got, one of the Beatles, one of the Monkees, one of the Munsters.
Actually, wait, I wrote down some of the people. William Shatner, Ed Asner, Bill Moseley, who we know, John Amplis, Karen Black, who you went out with.
I had a date with Karen.
Hey, you can go back and tell. Hang on. Butch Patrick, Bill Mummy, Sybil Danning, who you know.
Oh, I know Sybil.
Jane Weedland's been on our show. Fred Schneider's been on our show. Gloria Gaynor, Mickey Dolenz, The Cars. So you had like a lot of, and that's just some, because if you got 100 of them, that's only like 10. So like there's got to be a lot more. But It sounds like a very interesting thing. And he actually went on a date with Karen Black.
I did.
Did you raise that creature from Trilogy of Terror, that little voodoo?
No. Actually, Karen was kind of lightheadedly funny. She was a very witty girl. We were at the same dinner party in New York, and she was bored, and so was I. And I said to her, I'm going to go to a big dance gay club. You want to go? She said, absolutely. So the two of us gave our good nights. We left. Now we're crossing, I think it was 3rd Avenue, leaving the apartment. And she, with this long flaming red hair, walked like this, stopping all the cabs and the traffic on, 3rd Avenue. They kill you. It's a racetrack. She didn't care. She walked like Jesus on water. And she was just stopping all the traffic and stopping all the traffic. So then I realized that there was something not all there with her. No, but when we got in the club, we just were talking and hugging and not kissing romantically, but kissing as friends do. And I just found her to be one of the most charming people I've ever met. And a wonderful woman. Very sad that we lost her because
very sad, very sad. She gave me a list early on, and I used her list as a barometer. I said, here's a sample. If you guys want to do a list for me, here's one that I want to share with you. and it intimidated some people because it was so good. She wrote such a good list. So I realized I had to dummy it down a little, because some people, if they were using that as the, as their sample, yeah, they didn't want. And so the book did really well. I still sell it at the horror conventions. It's still one of those evergreen titles that never goes out of style. What's great about it is you don't have to be a horror person, because it's a celebrity book. It's a pop culture book. If you love William Shatner, you want to read his list. If you love Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, or the original drummer of the Beatles, Pete Best, you want to hear what were their favorite horror themes. So the book works on a lot of levels.
So wait,
I could see that book happening.
So what are some of yours? Like, what are some of the either movie? Well, did you put yourself in the book?
I did, but I was very tricky about it. Instead of putting my favorite top 10 list, because I've been in a lot of these grade Z, horror movies, I put in my top 10 favorite acting roles in horror movies.
Okay. That's so funny, though. You just said my top 10 grade Z movies, which we understand that because we're an independent film a lot of the time too. And he makes a lot of them too, because he's in a bunch too.
I make those horror movies.
Yeah, he makes them too, and so does he.
Really. I don't want to die having that as my epitaph that I was in horror movies. I've got to get out and do a feature film before I
I played Elton John on the HBO Flight of the Conchords.
Great.
Two Elton Johns, myself and Patton Oswalt. So when people say, really, that's all you do is horror, I can always throw that one out.
Flight of the Conchords with Patton Oswalt's hilarious. So just in a general, like, give us a couple of horror movies that are movies that you actually really think are like freaking dope.
Well, The Exorcist, and if you look at the book, it seems like most of the celebrities pick that, if not number one, then certainly on their list. What came in number 2, which might not be on my top 10 list, is Psycho. For me, it's
by number 1.
Yeah, see? So for me, it's a lot of favorites like Bride of Frankenstein, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and a movie you may not have heard of, but if you do, I'll be impressed, called Phantom of the Paradise.
I love Phantom of the Paradise.
Paul Williams?
Oh my God, I got to tell you a story. Okay, so I got asked to produce a new movie, and Paul Williams is part of it. And the lady said, Paul Williams is going to be doing the music for it, some of the music with this other guy. And I said, the Paul Williams? And she said, yeah. And I said, you mean Phantom of the Paradise, Paul Williams? And she said, nobody knows that movie. I was like, that was the very first movie that I was allowed to go see without anybody with me. I got to go all by myself. It was the very first horror movie that I ever got to see. And when he gets his face, I pressed in the record pressing machine. I mean, it was the greatest movie ever. I love that movie.
May I say something about Psycho?
Yes.
Back in 1960, Hollywood never permitted blood, bullet holes, or anything in any films. So we, the audience, were ignorant people. We just believed what the make-believe Hollywood was.
Yes.
Now my girlfriend Hilda and I go to see Psycho, and 10 minutes into the film, I see blood, knife wounds, chick, 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 mortified. The audience was mortified. We had never seen any. That was the most horrible movie I ever saw, because it was the first movie I ever saw that was a true horror movie. Now we're numb. I mean, I go to all
Plus
these.
The star gets killed at the beginning.
I go to all these red carpets that my friends' movies are, and I say, oh, there goes another throat cut, another tongue cut out, another eyeball flew out. It's boring. What more can they do in horror? What do you think?
But the brilliance of Hitchcock was there was no blood, there was no wounds. You saw
blood going down the bathtub.
Yes,
going down the juice going down but you never saw the actuality. I mean, you didn't have to. It didn't have to be the explicitness, because it was so
it wasn't allowed. Censors wouldn't allow it, because then it would have been a kill film, where like people pay money to see
snuff film.
Oh, snuff film.
Yeah,
snuff film. So he had to keep it. He did it well. He did it very clever. So to me, that was the ultimate start of horror movies. From then on, then we had.
He also likes the original Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I love that one.
Classic.
When the truck went on fire and eating barbecued persons. Oh, I love that.
Right behind me the cover of my book of top 10 horror lists. At the top, I put all the classics. You know, I put the Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff and Lon Chaney and all the musts. But if you go down, yeah, I put in George Romero and Linda Blair, because I thought those two deserve to be in the echelons of.
And what does your book sell for?
$24.99 on Amazon.
So it makes a nice coffee table book.
It does. It does. That got me going. You know, this is like a second career for me. I've always been an entertainer, a DJ, an MC at parties. I've always done conventions. I produce Beatles conventions and paranormal conventions, all this stuff. But the books really gave me like something new to do. The second one was True Ghost Stories of Connecticut, which is exactly what it is. The deal was it had to be true and they had to have something to do with Connecticut. But my newest book is the follow-up to the horror book, and that's Top 10 Beatle List, the book of Top 10 Beatles list. So I got celebrities to give me their top 10 favorite Beatle themes. It's all pop culture stuff. It's the stuff we love.
And very big market for it.
So actually,
wait. Could you, when we come, I think we're coming into New York in July, and we will see KC. And we will do another investigation into ghosts.
Yes.
Where do you recommend that we go in Connecticut? Because she lives up in Maine, and we're on Long Island.
In Connecticut, I thought.
No, she lives in Maine.
She lives, further up in New England. So we're going to connect. I'm part of a team called the Shaman and the Showman. I'm the showman. I don't have any psychic abilities. I don't have any powers, but my partner does. His name is Nick Roseman. He's the real deal. Just like KO. I mean, he can walk into a room and know if someone died in that room, who they were, what they were. He's got those telepathic, paranormal powers. So we'll get together with you guys. We'll find.
We should team it up, or we'll video it.
Yeah, and we videotaped the whole thing on phones. We all everybody was like video, and it was hilarious. I mean, we had such a good time.
We always have a celebrity in that show.
Tremendous.
So we don't know who the celebrity is yet, but whoever's available in New York at the time and they want to do it, they'll be in the show.
So wait, okay, so I want to go back because I'm a collector, and you have the new book, the book of the top 10 Beatle lists.
Yes.
And one of the things, and this is probably stupid because you've done so many things, but one of the things that really drew me to say, oh my God, I really want to have this guy on the show is the fact that you were the Beatles expert on an episode of Collector's Call on MeTV with Lisa Whelchel.
Right.
And
he loves that show.
And I love that show. Even when they're collecting shit that I don't like, I love to watch the show. Like the people who collect, what was it? Dolly Parton stuff. I really couldn't give two shits about to have a house filled with a fucking $5 million worth of Dolly Parton shit. But I watched it anyway. But the fact that you were on it, I think it's the coolest thing ever. And and you sent me pictures. I mean, you've been a Beatles fan since you were like a little kid.
Yeah, I've been from my first memory in life. We're seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan and watching, Bride of Frankenstein with my mom. But on Collector's Call, they brought me in as the Monkees expert.
Oh, you were the Monkees expert? No, I thought you were the Beatles expert. Okay.
I was the Monkees guy. But what's really funny is I put this in my horror book and I put it in my Beatles book, and it'll all make sense because one of the first photos that I found of myself, it's crazy, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's me in my pajamas as a little chubby boy growing up in the Bronx. And here I'm playing with all my monster models.
Frankenstein, and there's the creature from the Black Lagoon, and it looks like a Godzilla.
But look what's on my wall, a poster of the Beatles.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
So that summed me up as a kid.
Where were you from in the Bronx?
East 181st Street near Tremont Avenue.
I know where that is. I know very well. My friend Barbara doesn't live far from there. But that neighborhood's rough. No, she's not there. That neighborhood's rough now. You can't go there without you need a cat in the tank.
No, you need an armored truck, right?
You could be all Jews, all Jewish people up there.
Yeah.
So it was a wonderful little town in the 50s.
I think though what you do, I think it's fascinating because I love it all. So these are some of the things. So first of all, he does tours, right? Yes. So he's got a Beatles tour to Liverpool and London. He does a ghost tour. He's got Paracon 3 coming up, I think, right? I saw Saturday. Paracon's this Saturday
in Connecticut.
And then he also, which I don't know, did I write it down? Yes, he has a fucking tour, and it's Dracula Tours to Transylvania, that he takes people to Transylvania.
The real Pennsylvania.
The real deal. Romania. Yeah.
Let me tell you a quick story.
I would love to do
Wait,
that.
this is a true story. I'm not making it up or making it any better. I'm flying to New York on a red eye. Sitting next to me is a woman called Olivia. I forgot her last name. She had on a black hood with a long black coat like a cape. And I found out she was from Transylvania. Can you believe this?
Wow.
Midnight flying to New York in a dark airplane. And it turns out that her husband was the famous painter who I have on my wall, his beautiful stuff. Why don't I remember names? His name, Saz, Andre Saz was the painter. He's the painter that has in Israel the hand holding the rose of hope,
Wow.
the famous painting in Israel. So I said to her, I said, Olivia, you look like a vampire. You're from Transylvania. I said, do you have fangs? And she was like this. She said, no, but it was weird. Anyway.
What you should have asked her is, why did you need an airplane to fly from Transylvania?
Right. But she was lovely.
So
and then we became friends. And when I came back to California, she lived in Homely Hills next door to Zsa Zsa Gabor, and she hated Zsa Zsa Gabor. She said Zsa Zsa Gabor was a show off and a phony. And she said, and I have more furs and diamonds than Zsa Zsa has. So I thought, what a bunch of nuts.
So I'm going to tell people, because you have websites for everything. So it's like, I didn't write them all down, but I know that there's a website for the Beatles tour to Liverpool. What is that?
That's www.liverpooltours.com.
And then let's go to Dracula Tours to Transylvania.
www.dractours.com.
So now how often do you guys do that?
Once a year. Once a year, we do the Beatles tour in the summer. In August, during Beatle Week, we bring people over for 10 days. We go to London and Liverpool, and it's, for a Beatles fan, it's the ultimate. And then the Dracula tour is over Halloween. It's October 27th through November 3rd every year, and people go on this vampire vacation, and they have the greatest time. It's not just sightseeing during the day, it's partying at night. And we combine the reality and the history of Vlad Tepes, Vlad the Impaler.
You go to the castle.
Yeah, we go to all there's 3 castles we go to, and and it combines with the Dracula legend. We follow in the footsteps of the Bram Stoker Dracula novel. People love it.
Sure,
I would fucking love to do that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I love it. So just
wait a minute, what does that tour cost?
That's like $29.99.
That's not a lot.
$2,000. $3,000. Okay, that's good. That's a week,
including airfare, hotels.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Everything except meals and souvenirs.
I think that's terrific.
The reason I ask prices is our people want to know, because then later, after the show's over, they all email me, Ron, did you find out how much it costs? So I make it easy.
So tell us, how much does it cost to go to the Beatles?
The Beatles one is the same price without air. And then there's an add-on option because it's a few days longer, and England's a little more expensive than Romania. But
what made you come up with the idea, though? Like you wake up one day and say, "Gee, I love horror movies, so I'm gonna fucking make a trip taking people to see Dracula's castle in Transylvania."
I'm one of these guys. If I get an idea, I have to follow it through. And the idea was, what places would I want to go to? I don't want to go. I can't go to the Catskills anymore with my parents because the Catskills is gone. So I got to find places that I'm going to enjoy. That is part of my current DA, and my current. So it's Beatles, it's rock and roll, it's horror, scary stuff. And the Beatles tour I've been doing. This is my 40th year. This year, is our 40th anniversary. So somewhere down the line, we said, what else do I love? What else would I want to do? And now we've been doing the Dracula tour for 25 years.
Oh my God, you don't even look that old.
You brought up the Catskills. In Gershwin, what was the name of the famous resort up there, the one that everybody went to?
Is that the one on Miss Maisel?
Well, I never went to Grossinger's, if that's the one you mean.
Grossinger's, that's it.
I went to everyone but that.
I loved all the old ladies, right? Do you remember what knockers were, the wooden knockers?
I don't know anything from knockers.
All the old broads had diamonds on every finger, bracelets, Rolex, everything. And they couldn't clap because of the jewelry. So you know what they gave them? A stick with a knocker at the end. And if they liked what you did, they banged on the table with the knocker. I loved it. I used to call it the Jewish Alps because, you know, I'm part Jewish, so I was allowed. And I used to perform up there. When I had a booking up there, they loved me. Oh, they would go crazy over me because I was risque, kind of like Lenny Bruce of the day, which was very shocking back in 1961 and 2. Wonderful memories of the Jewish Alps. Loved it.
So wait a second.
We have lost so many things today that was so wonderful.
Yeah.
How did you get pegged as the monkeys expert? I mean, you must know a lot about collectibles in general because you're in this world.
I do. And I also produced a lot of the monkeys conventions through the years, and I've interviewed the guys. I was friends with Davey and Peter. So I'm kind of that go-to monkeys media guy. The Beatles is everywhere. So that's more of a specialty. But I just want just a flashback right now. I saw someone on stage once who reminded me so much of you, was also risque, Ron, a guy by the name of Dick Shawn.
Dick Shawn, sure.
You exude Dick Shawn. Because
I was compared to Dick Shawn. When I was young, they thought we looked alike. We were tall and the same hair, and Dick and I had the same sense of humor.
Same persona. It's so funny, right?
Dick Shawn was in a wonderful movie called The Mad, Mad World.
It's
a Mad, Mad World. Wasn't that a fabulous movie?
Best comedy of all time.
Best.
He was. He might have also been in Way, Way Out with Jerry Lewis and Stevens. Connie Stevens, I think.
Right.
Ron knows all. So he's basically like. And he used to have a show called Set the Record Straight on TV here, and he would interview all the legends of Hollywood, and Jane Russell was his best friend.
Wow.
So he knows. He met Elizabeth Taylor and Tab Hunter. He knows all those people.
Tab was a good friend also, but Jane Russell introduced me to so many celebrities.
See, we should have combined on my book of top 10 lists, because you could have probably got me half the celebrities. I wouldn't have had to drive myself nuts finding their emails and getting into it.
I knew them all, from Betty Davis down to
Elizabeth Taylor. I know.
It was the era. It was the 50s and 60s, and that was my time.
Shirley Jones.
So, living here and socializing back and forth between New York and California, and I've met a lot of them. They were all nice. I met the nice ones. The ones I didn't like, I didn't talk about.
So wait, let's go back. So what are some of indie horror films that you like? He's got Clown Motel 2 and Clown Fear.
Clown Motel 1, Clown Motel 2.
He just did Clowny, but it's not out yet.
Right. Soon to do Clown Motel 3.
I want to be in it. Find a role for me. I want to be.
Contact Joe Kelly.
Yeah, we can get you in it.
But I'm telling you, I'm in one more clown movie, I'm going to kill myself.
What kind of horror movies have you been in? I looked on IMDb. I have to say I didn't recognize any of the names of any of them, so I didn't know what they actually were. But I think a zombie one though, right? One of them I think was a zombie. Was one of them?
Yes, Zombie Chronicles was done by Scared Stiff. It was a 3-parter, and I get shot in the head in it, and they do a really good blood through the head. I think this one guy who uses me a lot. Scared Stiff Productions. He does it just to kill me, because I've been killed with a stapler in the head. I was killed with gunshots in the neck. The one I just mentioned was in a movie called Pink Eye, I was killed with a crowbar, and it was through the neck, through the top. A great effect, which in the movie it loses it, because in the still it looks great. I'll tell you an interesting story on that one. They called me in to be a patient in the asylum, and they go, just do whatever you want, whatever's going to look crazy. And at one point, the 2 leads are in the front, and I just walked backwards in slow motion. It hit me to do that, and they went, "Wow! I don't know if a psycho would do that, but it looks great on screen."
Do you watch did you see Terrifier 2?
I haven't seen either Terrifier yet, because I got kids who only will let me now watch. They wouldn't watch horror movies forever, and now the deal is I can't watch it unless I watch it with them.
How old are your kids?
16 and 18.
because Terrifier, it's really like Terrifier 2. I thought it was overly bloody, and it's really
I
not.
won't watch it.
He won't watch it.
I don't like those.
I only watched it because it's like basically it's one of the most successful horror movies around.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that I took my kids to see Drag Me to Hell when they were 3. And then all these really bad, and they would sit and they'd laugh. They'd laugh at the scariest scenes. And then they grew up a little, and by the time they were 10, that was it. They understood what scaring was. And for about 3 or 4 years, until I actually ran a haunted attraction in Connecticut. We had Connecticut's largest indoor haunted attraction, Fright Haven, which I owned for about 12 years. And they became actors in there. And that's when they got their chops back, and they no longer afraid to see things. And now nothing scares them. It's great.
That's fun.
I'm so against blood and gore for young people to watch that. I don't think it's healthy. That if I have a script comes my way and they kill me in a bloody way, I won't accept the script. So
he also doesn't want the fake blood in his hair because it doesn't come out easy.
Right. It makes your hair pink. I was in a movie where I got killed, but I was in the basement when a gigantic rat ate me. So you never saw it happening. But I don't think it's healthy for young kids to see all this gut, bloody killing, stabbing, shooting, murder. I don't think young people should see that. I think they should see happy things and productive things, not negative things. But I'm in the movies, but
like, what's your personally? Do you have a personal favorite horror movie that's like your go-to horror movie that you like?
Yeah, but it's not an independent. It's if I'm trying to turn people on to horror, I'll usually go with The Shining because it's
wonderful film.
Such a wonderful film, and the direction and there's some scenes are just jaw-dropping. But also, it doesn't use the typical horror tropes. You're not going to find it being done late at night with darkness and lightning. It's the opposite. It's in the snow. It's bright. It's it's able to scare without using the typical go-tos.
It was done so well. It really was. They gave you enough in small doses. They didn't overwhelm you with a bunch of shit that you had to wait an hour for. Like remember years ago, before you saw the monster, half of the movie went by, and you're saying, "Well, when is the monster coming?" It's a bore.
Yeah.
This film gave you the beginning spooky, this spooky. It just gave you just the right amount. It's a very beautiful film, wonderful, and of course Nicholson was brilliant in it.
Do you like The Lost Boys? Like that's my favorite movie is The Lost Boys.
All right, what song did they do when Corey Feldman was in the bathtub?
I don't remember.
I ain't got no home, but boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So that's by Clarence Frogman Henry. It was his only hit, but this guy happened to have opened for the Beatles. So look
at all these degrees, 6 degrees of separation we got going here.
So we got the horror connection because of Lost Boys. He opened for the Beatles. Got to tell you guys this amazing story. I'm in New Orleans, and I've got a ghost tour. It's a weekend ghost tour where I brought 20 people. We're going to all the scariest sites in New Orleans. We'll do the ghost walk, the vampire walk, the witch walk, the voodoo walk. A filled weekend. Check into the hotel. I'm wearing a Beatles shirt. My buddy's wearing a Beatles shirt. Talk to the girl behind the desk, and she says, what is that Beatles? Is that like Bugs? And I go, no. Are you serious? I mean, you could ask me that question, really? I go, who? You ever heard of the Monkees, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin? She hasn't heard nothing. So I'm not being racist, but I say, have you heard of Stevie Wonder, Aretha? She goes, no. Michael Jackson? Yeah, I know Michael. And I go, who do you know? She goes, I know Clarence Henry Frogman.
Oh, shit. The guy he's talking about had the song in the movie.
Yeah. Stay with me. Ron, stay with me here.
I gotcha.
And I say, how do you know this guy? Because my brain knows that he was an opening act for the Beatles. She goes, he's my neighbor. That's how come I know him.
How old was this person?
This gal behind 19, 20.
That's why.
So did she introduce you to him then?
That's the second part of the story. I say, I don't believe you. What's your address? She gives me the address. I put it in my phone. Guys, I leave the hotel. I go right to his house. I knock on the door. Now, I knew it was his house because it was adorned by frogs. His whole front yard, his steps, everything was frogs. And I knock on the door. A woman comes out and she goes, "Henry, one of your fans is here." She lets me in. He is so proud when fans come to his door. He signed autographs for me. We took pictures. And while I'm there, I said, "Hey, I'm writing a book. Can I ask you who's your favorite Beatle? What was your favorite memory? Blah, blah, blah." Got 10 answers out of him, put it in the book. And you made me think of that because you mentioned the Lost Boys.
Because I love the Lost Boys.
I once did a lecture in a school, and I mentioned Jane Russell, and this kid in front of me had a blank face. He didn't know who she was. And then I said, "Do you know who she is?" He said, "No." I said, "Do you know who Barbara Streisand is?" He said, "No, but I've heard of her." So I thought to myself,
"Oops,
we're doing something wrong in this country."
Yeah.
So we have 3 minutes left. Tell us what Paracon is, since it's this weekend. Tell us what it is.
Yes, it's we produced the first ever paranormal convention in Connecticut. There's 2 now. They're both great. Ours is this Saturday, May 13th, at the Ansonia Armory, which is this old, maybe haunted fort. Ansonia, Connecticut is in the valley, which is the most haunted section of Connecticut, and we'll probably visit there if you come, to New York. And it's from 11 to 6. Paracon with 2 N's.org is the website. I host it with my partner Nick, the shaman and the showman. Maybe We'll do this again, and we'll both come on together, and we'll only talk spooky stuff next time.
We love it. It's fantastic. I love everything you do. So I know you said you're not on Instagram that much, but your Instagram is Charles Rosenay.
Yes.
What does the F stand for?
Fred. I wanted to say Frankenstein, but I'd be lying.
So you guys check out Charles Rosenay's Instagram. Check out all his websites, and you can also get the books on your website, right? If an autograph copy on your website.
Books on Amazon is the cheap way to get a signed copy. Yeah, get in touch with me. The websites for the books is www.bookoftop10horrorlists.com or bookoftop10beatleslists.com.
So what's the next one going to be?
It's going to actually be the book of top 10 Jimmy and Ron stories that they can't tell in public.
We'll have lots.
I
know a lot of people in horror, so if you need like horror people if you do a sequel, we're friends with everybody.
And I knew Christopher Lee. How do you like that?
Wow.
And he wasn't very nice.
No,
he was not.
He didn't like that. You only knew he did Dracula.
He was a snob, and he was sort of rude. His wife had to apologize to me for him. I was at a cocktail party.
You got 1 minute.
At a friend's house in Beverly Hills, and Christopher was there, and he was standing next to me and his wife, and I began to speak to him, and I said, "You've done a brilliant job with Dracula. You really brought a new dimension to it." He was 6'5", and he stood there and said, "I have done more than Dracula. I have played many parts in many movies."
He thought you were Dick Shawn. You got to forgive him.
No. Meanwhile,
we gotta go.
Wait, listen to this. Meanwhile, I was taken back by it, and I leaned against the wall, and I made all the lights flicker, and people thought that Shelby, the hostess, Shelby Goodman, was asking everybody to leave. So it was a chaotic evening.
So you guys, this is Charles Rosenay. Check out all his stuff. We'll have you back. It's super nice to meet you. And we will have you back, and have a great time at Paracon this weekend. And thanks for coming on the show. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in, because we got to go. We're out of time. Woo! Thanks, Charles.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Yay.
Sunlight can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live, and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.